life is good. Come on by and take a chair or lean on the rail. Let's have laughter and remember fun times on the front porch. Rob and Dave always had the light on for fellowship and making memories. We will try and make you stay the best it can be. Yes, life is good. Sometimes life gets in the way. It's hard to smile on the front porch, but our friends remind us we are still here and care. Yes, life is good. Southern fried podcast sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Friday night is a front porch night and all is right. Yes, life is good.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Front Porch Talkin, the Cornbread Man and Miss Elizabeth. Sorry for the delay. We are having a technical issue with Rumble Studio. It is still down. I'm not sure what happens. It's like it crash always right before you go, and I have no idea what it is tonight. Usually I can fix that relatively quick. It is being a pain. We may not have it tonight. I'm going to try to pull back some of the do a couple things here as we get going. But Miss Elizabeth will be at home in a minute. Rob will not join us tonight. He's getting ready for his trip and was a little bit under the weather as well. So he called me and said, I can't make it. So no problem. We all have times like that. And that's when technical issues arise when you're engineering and doing those things. Miss Elizabeth will be right back. I think she got in a bad zone area. But it's okay. We're here, and there's bunches of you be coming in. We appreciate it from X, Instagram, Rumble. Get ready to Rumble. If you don't have a Rumble channel, get one. And while you're at it, get a pickaxe. Latest and greatest. They marry up very nicely together, whereas Rumble doesn't do blogs. Pickaxe does. They're live now on the desktops. Use our referral if you see it out there. And we'll get credit for that. So we'll try to get one of those posted up for the night is over. But we put them on our streams all the time. But anyway, either here or there, you'll want it because they're two great platforms. And like any platform, you can have a technical issue. This has got to be a Rumble Studio issue. It is nothing that we've done. So that happens from every once in a blue moon. We are broadcasting live on Southern Fright on Rumble, just not SF podcasting, which I normally run in the studio. That's okay. It's just being one of those painful nights, and I'm not sure what's caused it, but I'm gonna take it down and redo it while we're in the show, so as Miss Elizabeth gets back, and just try to go back in. You know, you got to operate them. So remember that game you had when you were a kid, Operation, and you couldn't hit the sides with the tools. You know, that's what it's like with this. You're trying to do a show, and you're trying not to hit the sides. You're trying not to collapse the stream, and that's what happens. So a lot of times I hit the sides. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it down. It's saying it's broadcasting, but it's not. It's there, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And here comes Mama. Maybe. We're hopeful. There she is. And we've choked her up.
My apologies.
I do that all the time. I'm going to redo Rumble Studio while we're talking and see if I can fix the problem. So it's good to have you. How's your Friday been?
How's my friend?
How's your Friday been?
Oh, my Friday's been great.
Awesome.
I'm going to turn off my car.
All right.
I went and had some service work done to my car today.
Nice.
And you know, that stuff's expensive.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's sticker shock anymore. I've been listening to people talk about how much their housing is. I just can't believe it. For like one bedroom, a little nothing. A one bedroom with like a kitchen right there, but a living room together, like $1,500 a month or something, crazy like that. I don't know how people are making it.
Well, you know, when I was renting down in Atlanta, because I bought the place I was renting, and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home, and it was almost $1,200 a month.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And you see stuff like that.
No, I misquoted you. It was almost $1,500 a month because the lot rent was $740 something, and the payment for the mobile home or the rent for the mobile home was 7 something.
Wow.
So almost 1,500.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I was talking to some people that just came to work for our company, and they were, we just got to talking one day when it was kind of late in the afternoon, but much left to do before we went home, and we were chit chat about stuff, and so they were all telling me about uh, what what they were paying and what they were doing. One guy said, he's a young guy. He said, I tried to go out and do it on my own. He said, I couldn't do it. He said,
Mm-mm.
I just could not do it. I had to move back home with my parents and just help them.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to have to work for a good while and get some money up. He said, I just can't do it.
If I had people that would back me, I would. This is what I would love to do. I would love to take some of these empty plants and convert them into apartments
Yeah.
inside because they're just sitting there. Some of these empty plants are, and because you think about it, how many apartments could you get in there? You could get a lot of apartments, nice apartments in
Oh,
there.
you could.
And I mean, if it's laid out correctly, I mean, you could rent those for nice apartments, and you wouldn't have to rent them for a lot.
True. True. I'm going to try something here, Miss
So it's
Elizabeth.
out in the universe now. Somebody else will do it.
The greatest idea is somebody hears it, they have the means to do it, and then they make all the money.
I know. And Michael, that's sad. But I'm glad that you had the house to fall back on. Because if you hadn't have, like you said, you'd have been out on the street.
Yeah, and that's where some people are.
Mhm.
I have, I've covered before, and I'm hoping to get an interview with them. I was talking to somebody at the school today. I went to grandparents' breakfast today and book fair. I want to come back to that. I've got a mini event on that. That I love them. It's not it's not a bash at school. It's just the logistics of it. I want to complain about because it never changes. And for the love of God, do something. I mean, it's just too much. But there's communities in schools which does a great work in helping those people, those kids who are struggling. And it depends. It's not long term usually, but they have many students at the high school who go in and out of homelessness. They'll be living in a car or living in a tent somewhere, and they have
Mhm.
to wash their clothes or take a shower. So communities and school steps in, and they provide a way to take a shower, wash your clothes, all that stuff. So they'll stay in school and not, suffer ridicule or feel less than, shamed, whatever. And you can't, and or they just can't afford the cleaning stuff at home. So they'll
Mm.
give them the detergent. They'll, give them the things that they need, like the soaps or whatever it is to take a shower at home. And there's just, I'm glad that's there. They help kids with prom dresses and stuff. These people donate to this stuff, and I tell young people all the time, take advantage of it. You,
Yeah.
there is no shame in it. It's nobody's business. The stuff that is hanging on the wall at the school is just as good as anybody else that has something. They donate nice stuff. And I said, your family struggles.
Mhm.
This is a way for people to give back. Take advantage of it. Don't feel bad. And one day you'll have an opportunity to give back and help others. And we all went through. I mean, my family has been helped before. When I was a kid, my dad got laid off at Christmas time every year. Christmas time,
I know.
and,
Don't you?
and it was a struggle. I don't know why they would do that. The worst time, layoff.
I know.
So my dad never did it, but people submitted my name. I got the fire engine and all the presents and stuff. There was food delivered. When my mom and dad divorced, there was a lot of people helped out. I was older. I was working, but I was a teenager. I mean, you're doing everything you can, and people wanted to help. And I know what it's like. And people today, it's so easy to be. Nowadays, it's nothing. But back in the day when I received help, and everybody, probably most people that's listening will understand this. When you had to go in there and tear the food stamps out of the pack, and they gave you the little slips of paper for the change, and you had to try to find a way to match that up and use that. But it was the worst thing to have to stand there and try to tear them out without ripping them, and you just could feel people looking down their nose at you like, oh, food stamps, and they would think because you bought a bunch of groceries that, like you had you were well off and you were just abusing it. Well, what I didn't realize is you shopped and you bought everything you needed so you would have it. We just stocked up, and we rationed it out for the month. I mean, we just knew how to. You do that, and nowadays they've made it a lot easier. But nobody should make somebody feel bad, And I don't really even worry. I know people get fired up about abuses, and sure, I get it. I don't want to see things abused, but I don't want to torture myself by going around trying to figure out who's doing it, who's not. That's not my job anyway. They're never going to get away with it with God. I just put it in God's hands. They'll always pay back more than they took. I promise you. At the end of it, this is true.
Yeah,
they're not going to get away with it. So I don't care if they pull up in front of the meat place and they drive an Escalade and they get $1,000 for food. I really don't care. It don't affect me, and I'll let somebody else handle that. But what I do care about is when I see somebody needs help, helping them get the help they need. And sadly, we live in a time when more and more people are needing that help, and it's just tough times. And there are things that have turned on the economy, but if people think that we're in an economic boom right now, it's not happening. Not yet. I've had people say their gas prices have came down. Mine have went down, went back up, went down, went back up.
Yeah,
it's not that different than it has been since the election. I mean, we're still not seeing that. It's going to take some time, and things are always lagging. And we need to do something in this country to produce more housing and affordable housing, or we're going to have whole camps of homeless. And I don't mean the people that want to go out by the river and they just don't want to live normally, because there are people like that. I know them. You can offer them a house today and they say, no, I don't want it. Leave me alone. But we're going to see whole families just in camps, like something out of a third world nation.
Well, you saw in the Depression, parents that would put and this is so sad, but they would put their kids out next to their house and say, this many children for sale.
Yeah.
And if we're not careful, that's what it's going to be again. And the sad thing is you never know who's going to get those kids, or what's going to happen to those kids, or somebody's just going to come by and they're going to take those kids, or they're going to be released, or they're going to be taken by the state. And not bashing foster care or anything like that, because foster care is a good system.
Yeah.
When it's correctly.
When it's correct, that's right.
And that's with any system. Any system can be great when it's used correctly. But you do have people out there that take advantage of the foster care system. And all they do is they take in kids to try to get as much money as they can. And a lot of times these kids get abused.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part.
Yeah, the conditions are ripe for them for things like that to happen. And yeah, I was talking to the lady I was talking to today. I worked with her a lot at the school. She's a volunteer coordinator. She's passionate about what she does, and that's why I always tell people to watch. I call it painting the brush over everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you know this to be true as well. There are dedicated people that are part of school systems. There's
Mm-hmm.
also a bunch of trash. There's
Oh,
also bad stuff up top, administrators and all kinds of crap. But I know many people
yes.
who give a whole lot more and love those kids and try their best to help those kids. And they're making a difference. It's just that things have gotten worse and worse, and it's hard depending on where you're at. But this
Mm-hmm.
lady I know, and we were talking about that today, and I said I want to bring those folks on a regular rotation and try to get them some help, even some donations. I said, but I want people to see things that are working,
Mm-hmm.
because people today tend to take the view as all education systems are demonic and they don't work and they're evil, and it's not true. There are there are many dedicated public servants who are serving our kids, and I know a lot of them, and you probably know a lot of them. I'm sure you do. And it's the only problem they have is that the constraints that are put on them, the
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, that or the class size, or what. And you know this better than I do. But there are people out there making a difference in kids' lives, and I've seen them in the meetings with tears running down their face as they're crying over a situation because it's breaking their heart,
Yes.
and you can see how much they care about the kids. And in fact, they probably work longer than they wanted to because it's hard to say goodbye to the kids,
Mm-hmm.
especially some of them followed kids, and they know brother and sister that's coming along, and they want to be there for them, and it's hard. Somebody, you got to step away at some time. Everybody does, but these people really care about the kids. So I want to bring them on and let them talk about. Now they don't work for the school system, but they are attached as an organization that I think is doing killer work. I do. Our company gives to them, and I want to have them on. I definitely want to have them on, and and let them tell their story, which is better than me trying to tell it, because I don't know their story as well as they do. And without obviously not revealing anything, I'd like for them to tell a few things that have happened, um, that stories of, I guess you'd say, survivor stories, where they've
Mm-hmm.
made a difference, and it kept somebody in school, kept them from quitting, helped them to
Yeah.
graduate. Uh, I struggled in high school. Now I left
Yeah.
and I went and got my GED and went in the military, and I've always regretted that. And I encourage every kid to finish school and don't cheat themselves out of their senior years and all that stuff, and don't quit. Keep going. The only reason things escalated for me is my parents divorced about the time I hit high school. It was a tough time. Middle school was beginning to be tough because the marriage was breaking down. High school, the marriage broke apart, and it was ugly. And now looking back, I guess you'd say I was probably in a type of depression. I just didn't care anymore. I just got to where I didn't care. I didn't see hope. I didn't think hope was there, and there was a lot of things that added to that. And I would have loved for there to be some sort of organization in the school like that then, because I don't remember anything like that. I don't.
There wasn't organizations like that, Dave. You know, you was talking about when you were younger. I remember when I was growing up. We weren't rich. By no means were we rich. My mama and my daddy both worked. My daddy was the manager of Long John Silver's. My mama worked there. Um, you know, just made little to nothing.
Yeah.
But we're different back then. Back in the 70s and 80s, times were so much different back then. I remember when gas was still 80 cents a gallon, and I do. I remember that. And you know, I remember when my dad broke his leg and couldn't work. I remember us having to go to the food bank. My daddy, my brother, I say my daddy and one of my sisters had yellow jaundice
Oh wow.
even born, and they couldn't even go out, and had to have food delivered. People go to the food banks or to the grocery store, really to the food banks because they wasn't nobody else bringing in money because Mama
Yeah.
couldn't even to the food banks bring food, leave it at the doorstep. After they would leave, Mama would open the door. I remember growing up and Mama mixing, whole milk with powdered milk so that we would have enough milk
Oh
to
wow.
last 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I remember those times because we didn't grow up rich by no means, and we struggled a lot of times. And I remember, and that's what people from different areas, different communities, they always think, and I hate to say this, Dave, but even different races.
Sure.
Oh, well, we're the only ones that have it bad. We're the only ones that, this effect, that we're the only ones suffering. No, you're not. It's every race. It's every nationality. It's
It is.
everybody. It's everybody that goes through this. The only people that probably don't ever have to go through this is the most wealthy and elite.
Yeah, and sometimes they lose it all,
And so,
and they
hmm
they make bad financial decisions. Things go belly up. Somebody dies. There's all kinds of things that can happen that affect that. I uh, I used to, and I don't know. I used to. I see things sometimes. I like to just. I don't know. I observe people, and not to judge them or anything. I just. I don't know. It's just the way I'm made. I watch people's habits. I just watch what they do. Um, and when I was bagging groceries, which was a great benefit for my family. I remember when I got my job, I was 15 years old. I actually lied about my age to get the job, but it felt so good to bring money into the home. Now I had mowed yards and stuff, but it felt so good to bring money into the home. And I remember my dad got laid off, and we had bought this really nice RCA color television. Like we'd never had nothing like that.
yeah,
And I remember Dad was saying, "We're going to have to send the TV back." And I said, "Oh, heck no." And I told my dad, I said, "I'll pay for it." He said, "Well, if you'll pay for it, it can stay." So I just, Miss Jen Rumble is just having issues tonight. I can't get studio up. It's just one of those nights. Um, so we're running on one stream. Sorry. Just do whatever you got to do. It's just one of those deals. It's probably the Russians, but it's Russian interference. But anyway, I said, Dad, I'll pay for the TV. And it was, I mean, nowadays it's nothing. I remember it was back then, it was a lot. It was like $25 a month. And I made good on tips, but I only made maybe $75 a week on a paycheck. But I
yeah,
made 100 and something in tips, if not 200. So I paid for it out of my tips, and I'd give the money to Mom, and she'd pay for it. And that Christmas, uh, there was a lot of, I mean, I bought a lot of the Christmas. I was, I had just turned, I had just turned 16, and it made me feel good to know that I was helping my family
hmm
in that way. And you
for
know,
sure.
I mean, there was a time when even a lot younger than me, and I was thankful for the years I didn't have to. My dad always worked hard, 2 jobs, and a lot of times, I mean, when you're talking about like the depression and all, everybody worked. everybody had to have some kind of a job, some way to make money, because they needed every cent they could get. So like even, you know, the smaller kids would find a way to, you know, do something to make a little money. There was a lot of miners working in factories all the way down to the age of, well, it might even be any age, standing there beside their mama learning how to run the machine.
Yeah.
And then when they got a little older, they ran the machine. They would get a job making, I don't know, a couple of cents running and getting water for workers or something. But there was kids were growing up in factories then, or some kind of work, or in the fields, or whatever it was. But it was the 70s were a tough time. The gas crisis, the energy crisis in America, the long lines. You said 80 cents. I remember 47 cents is the
I actually, before I started driving, I remember it being even lower than that. I remember seeing signs for 50 cents.
yeah.
Mhm.
And my dad at 47 was complaining when it used to be 35. I can remember him saying that.
Mhm.
But I watched, you know, I was saying that I watched people, and I watched the strain on my dad. I could tell when things were really tough. I could see the strain on him. He was a little more short tempered. I'd watch how he'd rub his neck. You know, it's just the wrinkle lines, the forehead, deep in thought. Sometimes laying back, looking at the ceiling. Here he's working all the hours he can, and they're struggling.
Mhm.
You know, it was tough to watch, really tough to watch. And I was a lot younger then. And I was going to say, I think all that impacted me. Like I went to work, my first job, and I was bagging groceries. And I will never, ever forget, there was this lady that would come in, and she was a really nice lady. And she came in every week, food stamps. She always had dirty hair, which I didn't judge that. But every bag boy there would avoid her. But as they said, she didn't tip. Well, she couldn't afford to tip.
Yeah.
And I gladly would take that every time I saw her. She was a really nice person. And I wanted to give her some kind of encouragement, you know. I don't know what her situation was. I never knew her situation. But it was obviously struggle, a really hard struggle. And I just, I see people, and you can tell when things have changed. There's a change in the weather. You can tell they're not at ease. They're under a deep strain, and it can
It,
happen overnight for any of us.
it
Any of
can.
us.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, truth be known, we have inherited a financial situation because of my son and other things, and we just working hard and navigating through it. That's all you can do, best we can.
It
So
is.
you know, I mean, that's just life. Life deals things to you. I'm a I believe I'm a pretty successful person. I've uh, went back to school, got my degree, but I'm paying college debt,
Yeah.
and you know, I've got a good job. I work a second job. I'm doing a career in podcasting here that we're doing, and you know, we're moving on and doing things, and I'm blessed. But I know a lot of people. I look at them and I say, "Wow, that could be me overnight if the
Yeah.
wrong things happen."
Well, I said that um I would like to have something part time. I don't know what it is yet. Um, just to have that little extra money coming in.
Yeah,
You know, um, I loved working with my babies. I did, but I just don't think I can go back to teaching anymore.
yeah,
It just after so long, it just takes so much out of you, and it just does some. It just did something to me,
yeah,
especially this last year. Dealing with everything I had to deal with.
yeah.
It just,
Sometimes you got to make that change. Well, if and for you, I mean, I definitely can see in my future. I mean, a change. I'm not going to keep
mhm,
working um, the amount I have, and I will always work, but in different ways.
mhm,
Um, but yeah, I mean, you just get to a level where the energy level you have to have.
Yes.
You're tired all the time, to be
Yeah.
honest. And tired, not just physical, but emotionally,
Mhm.
mentally. I get
Yeah.
mentally tired a lot.
Yes.
It's like I can't think. Like it's like Kaylee will say, "Did you do this, Papa?" And I'm like, "Oh." It's like I need to make lists because I've maxed out my brain.
No, I completely get it. I do. Well, when I started, you said you started working at 14, 15. Thinking back on it, I think I started working when I was almost 15, 14, but I worked under my mom's name and my mama's social security number. So I could get a check, but
Yeah,
I got my check until I turned 16. And they could put it under my name and my social security number. Um, but I worked with my dad at Long John
yeah.
Silver. And so, but he would only let me work on the weekend. I was never allowed to work during the school week. And it was just enough money for me to have a little spending money. When I got paid on the weekend, or when I got paid during the week, I'd have it on the weekend. Hey, Jake. And so, it was just enough for me to have. But, hindsight's always 2020. If you could go back and you could change things about how you grew up or how you acted or how you took your education and things like that, there's always things that you would go back and change, but you can't have regret on that. You
Right.
have to keep moving forward. Um, you know, I I've signed up to and this was a while back, but I hadn't took the classes yet. And so I need to go online and do my classes. I signed up to be or to take classes to do a art art therapist.
Oh, cool.
And so, I could go that way. I could go down to the not necessarily to the VA, but to the VFW, any of the local VFWs, and offer my services if I wanted,
Yeah.
to of the soldiers that are there, or the veterans that are there, or whatever, or to anybody. Because I'll just tell you, I'm not an artist, but I love to paint and do whatever I want to do with it, and that's part of the therapy part of it. It don't matter.
It don't matter. I took an art class as an elective in school. I didn't need. There was only so many things offered in this one category, and that's like art. Oh, so I took it. I said I'm just going to do it because I didn't like the other options.
Mhm.
So the art class was basically you would develop a PowerPoint of your own art. Your art could be anything and whatever. It was really endless. But what you did is you took. They wanted you to take pictures. You could be pictures you took or other people took or paintings, and you would take those and you would put them through an artistic. I guess you would say an artistic uh, listing of things about each week. You would take
Mhm.
a different element of art and put your pictures through that and describe it in those terms. So, like, it might be lighting. What's the lighting? What is the lighting telling you in this picture? What is it pointing out? What is the lighting trying to hide or lead your eyes away from? Hello, Zachariah. I found that so stinking cool. And when I found out that I could use historical pictures, I
Mhm.
actually used very historical War Between the States pictures, three that I knew real well, and I chose two that I didn't know as well on purpose. I had a ball with that. And you built your project. Basically, your project was your school term. And every week you would come in and you had homework. I mean, you had to build this thing for class. You basically was turning in each week your updated PowerPoint with
Mhm.
you had to have so many pages. Of course, you had to do all the, give credits and all that stuff. It had to be a certain size. There was a lot of requirements to it, obviously, at school, it's college. But I stinking love that. And I got I got an A+ on the class. I mean, I found that I really could love art in my way.
Mhm.
And truly, art is, I've always struggled with people that take things that are abusive, immoral, or whatever, and try to call it art. And I'll always stand it. There's just some things that should be out of bounds.
Yes.
But you can take anything, and truly, you can make art out of it. You really can, if you look at it in the right way. And
Oh, yeah.
people scoff. I'm not a big fan of what's the type of art. I'm big on scenery, things, landscapes. I'm not big on this, which some people love, just colors on a page or pieces of metal that intertwine or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that. But I can walk through museums and love pieces of work of art, no matter the canvas, no matter the top, if it's of people, places,
Mhm.
scenery. I love that type of stuff. So
I
in that way, I can like art.
I love to do like paint with oil pastels because there's so much you can do with oil pastels. Not oil pastels. My bad. I love to paint with watercolors
Yeah,
because there's just so much you can do with watercolors, and which I do love oil pastels also. I developed a love for oil pastels when I taught in Murray County at Woodlawn because our art teacher would come in to our classrooms and work with our kids with oil pastels. And I developed a love for those because she would just make it so simple and so neat. Even our kids, loved them. And so it was just amazing.
yeah, and I'm certainly not an expert, but I know for a fact that there are three things that are absolutely wonderful for people's uh, mental health, to get over hurts, whatever. Art is one of those.
Yes.
Music is another. And also just help people grow mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally, spiritually, whatever. Art and music should be two programs that are never cut out of schools
And
because kids need
art,
them.
art is one of the first things cut out of elementary schools.
I know.
And that's
It,
so,
those little minds, they're sponges, and it helps to challenge them in ways that you just can't. They will come out of their shell.
mm,
It just helps. A third would be animals. Anytime you can get kids around
yeah,
animals, horses, things like that, dogs,
mm,
they love that stuff. It's
yeah,
helpful. It's therapy. In fact, there's a lot of horses, places that have horses for that cater to that, to people who
yeah,
have emotional damage. Put them on a horse, they start opening up. There's something
yeah.
about being on a horse. I don't know what it is, but horses sense that kind of stuff too.
Oh, yes.
You
And
know,
but when they do sense that, they're totally different with those types of people and those types of kids. They It's just like their behavior is so different.
yeah. I did a we used to when I used to do the Civil War reenactments, and we were up in. I used to love to watch the cavalry because those guys are close to their horses,
Mhm.
and those horses loved that stuff. They loved it. But we were up in Blue Springs, which is up above Strawberry Plains, above Knoxville, and the Battle of Blue Springs. And we did. We stayed Friday night. I think we stayed both nights. Maybe it was just Saturday night. I think that's what we did. We got up there and we did the Saturday battle, and then we spent the night and went to church. They had this big church, did a huge outdoor food thing. They had services and they had this food thing. But anyway, there was a guy. Of course, he was portraying in his cavalry unit that he got shot off his horse and was dead. So he played it up real well. He fell really well. I mean, he looked like he died, and he was holding onto the reins so the horse wouldn't take off, but he kind of hit it in the grass. But he was laying there like he was dead. Well, that horse, it's freaking that horse out. Like he ain't liking it. So he like comes up and he nudges him, like, let's go. And
Funny.
he's just laying there like, like I'm dead, And the
Yeah.
horse nudges him again. He gives him a little bite, like, "What's wrong with you?" You know. And finally, he puts his nose up at his face. He's like worried about him. I mean, the horse
Yeah.
was getting really freaked out, and he had to break. He had to break from what he was doing, and he just slowly reached one hand up and was rubbing that horse's nose, and he's just, it's okay. He was patting him like, I thought it was the
Oh,
coolest thing. The horse was worried about,
his
his
own.
guy, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But he's like, hey, this ain't right. What do you mean laying there like that? We were up in the trenches up on this hill, and they had went in first. We were going to come out of those trenches and make a charge. And we're sitting here watching this, and we couldn't hardly take our eyes off of it while this
Oh,
battle's raging, We're like, check out the horse. It's one of those moments when you really go back in time and
yeah.
you kind of forget where you're at. You feel like you're in the middle of a war. It's really a wild. They call it kind of, seeing the elephant. You just kind of, you forget modern things, and it's like you're back in the day.
I can imagine.
It's a weird feeling. I've had it happen a couple of times where it was just spooky weird. One night we were camping before Resaca, a fog rolled in. We can't see any modern, no telephone poles, no nothing, and a train comes rolling through, and everybody there stopped what they were doing and didn't speak. They just listened. You've got the campfires going. You had the smell of the English tobacco waffling through the camps, and you had that train going in the fog. It was a moment. It really was. Oh, Barry, I don't know if he's in here right now, but Barry's a reenactor, and he knows what that's like. It's really wild. But anyway, this interaction between animal and human is really cool. And we just don't need to cheat those things out of, and when times are tough.
Mm-hmm.
And systems got really lazy with all this.
They have.
They've taken away a lot of those things. I'm trying to put them back now. Georgia's doing a great job, I think, of really trying to re-engage to the technical schools. But you need, well, I'm glad to know he's getting his laundry out. You need those shop programs in the school, the transportation programs,
Mm-hmm.
the home ec, the construction, build stuff,
Well,
whatever it is.
kids need to understand, and they need to realize that and it's so sad because everything shouldn't be centered around going to college.
Right.
And as much as I hate to say that, because I am a teacher and I did go to college, and but there's also trade schools.
Yeah.
Kids can go to trade schools. It's okay.
Yeah. You can take a good welder now and a welder or a truck driver, and given the right circumstance, they can make $80,000-$90,000 a year.
Yes.
It's not out of bounds. You can do that, and it's not rich, but that's decent money, and you can make a living, and you can do that.
But let me tell you something, and I know this because my sister and brother-in-law are truck drivers. If you get clearance, hold on, sorry. There we go. If you get clearance by the U.S. government and you drive for yourself, you have to drive through. You do have to go through certain companies to do this. But if you drive for yourself, you own your own truck, so you're a contractor. You pick the loads that you want, but most of the time you are hauling explosives and you're going from military base to military base. You make way more than 90,000.
Oh, yeah. That's hazard there.
Mhm. And I mean, you carry a little panic button with you, and if something suspicious happens, you push that panic button, and it don't take long for police officers, black helicopters, and I mean everything comes.
Wow.
To where you are. Mhm.
Yeah, I like it.
My
Bring it
sister
on.
and brother-in-law carried one for years.
That's cool.
Years. Yeah.
But it's and I always say if somebody goes to college, another level is you don't have to do 4 years. You could get there's 2 year certificates,
Mm-hmm.
associates, there's all kinds of things. And if you're going to go to college and you don't know what you want, get a business degree. You can use that
Yeah,
anywhere.
you can.
Some people get bad degrees. It's just not usable.
But here's the thing though, Dave, is they hire people now that don't even have teaching degrees, that have other degrees to be teachers, and they send them through this program called TAP. It's like a year and a half long program, and that certifies them to become a teacher.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, honestly, and today, a teacher is not developing their own curriculum. Mostly, it's all state given. So what you're
Mhm.
doing is you're just teaching kids how to get the material inside of them
It's not even state given; it's county given.
or counting it. Yeah. So, and I get it. We're kind of teaching to pass a test. I get it. They're graded on that. But the biggest thing schools are concerned with attendance because that's federal dollars because they don't get paid
Yeah.
if people ain't there, and kids plus they get government assistance for the food, and the kids need to eat. Sometimes they're not eating at home.
Mhm.
Passing those standardized tests, doing well as a school, that everybody's raise depends on it. The amount
Mhm.
of money they get, the help they get, your job's on the line, whatever, is all on those tests. So it's you got to do what you got to do, and they don't even do as many field trips as they used to in most cases. Some still do
No.
pretty good, but some don't. They've cut that out.
Yeah.
They've just cut it out. And class sizes are bigger. You don't have time to be. And there are programs that put parapros and stuff in the classrooms in some of them, but there's not enough. There's not enough bus drivers. There's not enough teachers. There's not enough parapros. It's short all across the state.
And this is just in a personal, really, it's not even really a personal opinion. You ask any teacher that is in grades kindergarten through second, third grade, there should always be a parapro in those grades.
Yeah.
But they are still so young that they need that extra assistance in those classrooms.
And I found out at the beginning of it was probably 2 years ago now that in our county we have probably as many kids that go to school online at home as we do in the classrooms.
See,
Uh,
that's
they're doing they for whatever reason they don't feel comfortable coming to school. They they do the work online. It's the same curriculum, but they just do it at home.
see, that's crazy.
I know.
Because here's the thing though, is can you really be dependent upon the parents to make sure that child is doing that work, or are the parents doing it?
I'd say there's probably I'm sure that there's helps that are given.
Mhm.
Now, when I talked to the administrators, they said it had escalated since COVID. Nobody wanted. Some people just didn't want the kids in school. Some of it was social anxiety. Some of it was bullying. They've been bullied. They were emotionally traumatized. Some of them just didn't want to get up and go to school. They wanted to do it from home, being honest. Um,
And that's the
and,
parents.
and when all the kids heard about it, some of them were, "Hey, I'll do that." And I stood my ground and said, "No, you're going. If we're doing that, we're homeschooling." But I said, "Right now, you're going to school." So
Yeah.
when the kids found out they could do that, they all were talking about it, and nobody did it.
And that's where the parents need to, like you did, stand up and say no.
Yeah.
You can go to school. That's what my tax dollars are paying for.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have two grandchildren that do it from home, but there's a couple of reasons for that. But they are doing it. They are doing their work. It's not through the school though. They do have to line up to do their standardized testing with the school, but it's through another organization. And the kids actually, if I remember right, they're paying for it out of their own child support.
Oh wow.
They actually hold the card, and they pay for it them out of that. Sometimes they have to have a little help, but so they are being productive and learning and still going. But there were some problems as well. Hey Anthony, how you doing?
Hey Anthony. Here's my thoughts on that, Anthony. Um, I think people got used to being at home because of COVID, and I think that they forgot how to act, and I think that they use that as an excuse because a lot of times, a lot of these people that act out are older, and they think that everything should just be handed to them on a silver platter. Now, granted, a lot of these people that are acting out too are younger people, and they think that everything also should be handed to them on a platter, and that is their parents' fault because the way they were raised. And it takes our generation, mine and Dave's generation, to put them in their place
Yeah.
because people are crazy. I don't take no crap from people.
Yeah. I don't either.
I don't. I can do it nicely, or I can be mean about it with a smile on my face. And let's see.
It's true. There's probably there's a lot of truth in that. I don't say it's true all the time, but a lot of older people, and the older people, by the way, the older people are in fear.
I think so too.
They're afraid,
Yeah.
and especially, and this is not a racial comment. When COVID first hit, I know in Georgia, and I watched this for months or 2 years. The African American community got hit hard.
Hmm.
It all started in Georgia, most of it in Albany, Georgia. And there were two funerals that occurred, African American funerals. And some people went to both funerals. They knew both people.
Hmm.
And it
It,
spread like wildfire. At one time, Albany, Georgia had the highest level of cases across the whole state of Georgia, including Fulton County. It was a hotbed. And a lot of African Americans died. And it really wreaked havoc through a lot of that community in the state and in this southeastern United States. And I still see a lot of older African Americans who wear a mask every day. I think they're scared to death they're going to get it. Still, they're afraid, and
hmm.
it's not just them doing it, but I see it really because when I do security, I see it a lot at the big box store. They are masked up. Some of the workers are, and they're all retirees that are working part time or coming into shop, and they're scared to death. So I think with the older crowd, a lot of it's fear, and they get really upset. They lose their temper easier.
They
Not all of
do.
them, some of them. It's like I don't know. It just makes them crazy.
Got this little butterfly. This not a. It's a moth. It's.
I saw that moth. It looked
I
like it
know.
was. It looked like it was
All
running
over me.
a kamikaze run on your face there a while
It
ago.
is.
He's
It
looking for
is.
you.
I'm trying to turn
Incoming,
the car
incoming.
on. If I can turn the air
Uh,
on.
we're going to take a quick break, folks. Run an ad or two. I'm going to refill my coffee cup. For those that Rumble is completely down for our stream, it
And
is
yeah, I
done.
saw that.
It'll be okay. We're still on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, X, Instagram, whatever. We're on all those. So we'll be with you for another hour. It came from Steve. He had a moth. Oh, it's the son of the moth. If I have a moth fly by during the rest of the show, that's going to be creepy. Really creepy. All right, folks, we're going to be right back. We'll let Miss Elizabeth kill her moth or let him free the moth.
I'm not going to kill it. I'll turn my lights off and then open the door.
All right, let me line up a commercial, and we'll be right back, folks. Let's see here. We'll start with our coffees. We'll go from there.
Question, Anthony, after we come back.
All right, see you in a minute.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Rob and Dave from the Southern Fried Podcast. You know, we love lots of things here in the South. We love our country. We love our family. We love our God. We love some sweet tea on the front porch on Friday nights. But we're really near and dear and love us some coffee. That being said, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock on July the 14th, yes, we will have our coffee out there. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome, man. It's been a dream come true. We talked about this before we were ever a podcast, and we love these coffees. There's 40 plus blends. You'll find something that you like. And most people like coffee. If you don't, I can't help you, but most people like coffee, and there's a lot of coffee here. In fact, our morning show, we say get up, pray up, and coffee up, because we start our day with coffee, and now you can get some for you. Hey, we're very patriotic here. Get some for your veteran friends. You know what? Bless them. And the coffee mugs you see are representatives of logos that we've made. We've got more coming. We're going to put those on coffee mugs, and you'll see our SFP brand there, logo on each coffee. And these prices, Rob, we kept them as reasonable as we can. We cut that margin down because we know times are tough, and we want to help people and put coffee in their home and all of our listeners and followers home. And I'm proud of this. So big kickoff, Rob. Excited about
it. And hey, y'all, there's no shipping cost on this either. You do not have to pay for shipping. It's already, everything's done. You just go with it. So the price
the QR code works. Just scan it, and and also off of our site, our coffee store, 2 or 3 of our social sites are also linked there. And you can find some of if you don't know where we're located, you can find us there. And come get some coffee. We got plenty. Hey, this is Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. Recently, me and Rob were able to go to Fresh Press Farms and do an interview, which we posted on all of our streams. We love these folks. They're amazing. And we are also customers of theirs. I've recently ordered my olive oil that we use in cooking to our home. We love that they're Georgia-based. We love that they're the only olive producer in the state of Georgia. And we love that they're making jobs here for Georgians in South Georgia. We want you to become a part of their family and use their products. They are the makers of homegrown cold-pressed cooking oils. Crafting oil like this means that they capture the best of the olive and the sunflower because they make that oil too. And they have other products that they have out there. It's an amazing company. They like to say freshness is never a question with Fresh Press Farms. They believe that what we put into our bodies should be minimally processed and actually improve our health and taste like the source. Locally produced and vertically integrated, they proudly grow, harvest, cold press, bottle, and distribute their oils in Georgia to ensure top-notch quality and a quick trip from Grove to Pranchy. Please go online and look up their website and order you some too. Support small business, support Georgia business, and we would appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon. And we're back. Appreciate you staying with us through the break. Don't forget, make the switch today to Patriot Mobile. Use promo code Cornbread, and you'll be dealing with an American-based, Texas-based company with America-based customer service. Also, don't forget Mammoth Nation. I'm a lifetime member, Mammoth Nation. We have a QR code for that, and they're great folks. We love them, and we need to start highlighting some more of their stuff. I have one slide that I do. I'm redoing some of the commercials, so I'm kind of in flux right now. We also want to tell you to give Three Ravens Publishing. Go to their website. These folks are awesome. They're local to Chickamauga. Let me tell you, amazing. He has one of the Three Ravens, the one that comes on our show. He asked us if we would like for our logo with a link to our website put in the back of all their digital books, and I'm like, wow, how cool is that? So he's already sent me a picture of that. As a matter of fact, they're going to be with us, and I think I might have a picture here of the new. I do. This is a book that's just coming out, and this will be the first book that I think that our logo will be in. Let me see if I can share screen. Then I want to give a little more news about them. Let's see here. Share screen. Let me see if this one will pull up. Yes. He just sent me this today. The Convoy of Chaos. I love it. Ooh. Introduction by Will Wheaton. Remember, he talked about this on the program. So, introduction by Will Wheaton. For people who don't know who that is, think Star Trek Next Generation. Edited by Rick Cartwright and Sherry Robb.
He was on.
Yeah. He was on the poker thing too, wasn't he? At one time.
I don't know, but he was on. Keep talking, I'll think of it.
Yeah, I can't remember, but anyway, they have many different series, and you can see William Joseph Roberts. He is one of the stories. He's done one of the stories in here, and he's also the editor. But let me blow that up just a little bit. But in the back of this book will be our logo. Let me take that back down just for a second, and I'll see if I can't.
Thank you, Anthony. You're awesome. The Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang Theory. Mm-hmm. You can see, and I'll share this back up. This is the back of the book with other logos, and there's the SLP, and there'll be a link there to our website that they can click on or touch or whatever. And it came from the trailer park is right across the way, which is my favorite series. These guys are awesome. Please give them some attention. If you love to read, they do great series, and I'm hoping to have lunch with him soon, and we're just going to see. We're just going to try to explore how all we can help each other and as small business, and just wonderful, wonderful people. But on Halloween night. They're going to be here. The episode 5 or version 5 of book 5 of the series that came from a trailer park is going to be released on Halloween night. They're going to be on the podcast on a Friday night, and we're going to have a release party for that book, and that is cool. We've never done anything like that, and I hope that can be an annual event. I do, whether it's that book or other books or whatever. That would be cool. I'm excited about this. He's wanting to get some writers up to come on the show. Folks, this is a fun thing. This is what I signed up for when I do stuff like this. So I know Miss Elizabeth, she's a reader. She likes that stuff.
I'm an avid reader.
Yeah. Anthony, no, we don't make a lot of profit on it. We give to those things ourselves, and we'll be glad to make donations. Our podcast does not make any money. We do make some money, but everything that we make is actually paying for the expense. So we're not at that level yet. We actually have sold very little coffee. and I don't mean that in a bad way. It takes time. You got to get your brand out there. You've got to get people used to buying your stuff. So this is very new for us. We have sold probably a total gross value, I would say somewhere in the vicinity of $100 maybe of coffee. So, and that's certainly not all profit. There's most of that's cost, shipping costs, production costs, whatever. So it's a great question. We definitely are pro-military, and we do believe in giving charities, law enforcement stuff. But I had somebody scathe on me. Our podcast wasn't 6 months old, and somebody came in and was blasting all the podcasters about all the money they should be sending overseas to help the Ukrainians or something. And I said, hold on, don't be painting that brush. I said, we haven't made one dime on this podcast. We don't have some massive amounts of money sitting in a bank to send anywhere. I said, you need to watch what you're talking about. And they apologized and said, that was bad of me. I made the assumption. People think because they see you everywhere, you must be just rolling in money. It's not happening, folks.
And I'm sorry, but we see money anywhere, we'll help the people at home first. That's my opinion. I don't know about you, Doug, but that's my opinion.
And I love, and I don't care. I love 55coffee.com. I love buying from Black Rifle Coffee Company. I still buy other coffees, but I'll buy my own as well. I try to spend more there than I do anywhere. I mean, we're a transparent people. We have not made any money off of any affiliate except Patriot Mobile, and the only thing we've made any money on is the store, and we're thankful for that. But it takes time. So it's a great question, and I want to be as transparent as I can with you. I don't feel like I have to put the Dun and Broadstreet up on the screen, but we pour everything that we make back into the podcast. There's no money taken for ourselves. In fact, we're still pouring money out of our pockets in the podcast. The studio I pay for out of my pocket. The podcast may eventually one day help pay that off. I think Rob still pays for two of the StreamYard's paid for by the podcast, but I think he still pays for his own Facebook and YouTube. I still pay for, I think, I'm trying to remember because I pay for Gab is one of them. Gab is one I'm paying for and out of my pocket. And I think the Rumble came out of my pocket. I bought the premium package. And so that gets you up to date. So people wonder sometimes, if we were here for the money, we'd quit a long time ago.
And I'm just getting started.
So, but we were always on a plan to grow organically. We concentrated first of all on having the best programming we could. And believe me, when we started, I didn't even have any way to broadcast. I didn't even have my own equipment. I jumped in with both feet. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a camera. I used borrowed stuff, did some on my phone. And for the last year, 14 months or whatever it is, I have poured probably $3,500 into the podcast to make this happen because I believe in it. And that didn't even count. Well, it maybe included some of the costs, but the business cost and all that. But I think it's good. I don't mind sharing. I think it's good to update people, and one day we hope to make some money. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's America. One day I hope that Rob benefits and myself and our co-host will benefit. It's just growing the business. And, people are in it because they love it. They're not in it because they're getting paid. Well, we do get paid. We get paid by talking to people like you and having the fun that we have with the podcast.
Yeah.
But my payment is in that I have a passion for it. So, that's the way to do it. I wouldn't want it coming any other way, because if you don't put blood, sweat, and tears into something, if you don't work at it, you'll never appreciate it if it did become successful. And there's a lot of competition. And for those, and I know Rumble, sometimes we've had some troubles with the streams. I will say it again, the best podcasters in the world are Rumble, because every one of them have been helpful to us. I've not ran across one yet that has not been helpful to the Southern Fried. I can't say that for all of them. In fact, most of them ignore us on the others. But there's a couple that have reached out. But all the ones on Rumble that I've met, they're awesome people. And we're all different. But they're very supportive. And we're growing every day. More shows are coming. By the way, in the morning, speaking of that, in the morning, we'll get back to our show. Quick announcement. In the morning is a new series that I'm doing called America First. And my first guest, it'll be interviewed, is James from Empty Pockets Podcast. We tried to do that last night. He had his neighbor, somebody tried to, they came into his home with a gun. And so James had to pick up his weapon and go help. So we ran out of time. So in the morning, it should be live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is America First, the first one. We'll be doing these each week. We'll run it for as long as we feel like we need to, or maybe till I'm dead. I don't know. But we're going to ask each person what they believe it means to be America First, and then how was their patriotism built from the earliest day? Did they have people that loved the country around them? Did they develop it on their own? We're going to dive into those questions, and James is my first one. And I'm thankful for him being on, and each week we'll have somebody else. There'll also be, it might not be a show, but it's going to be a flag series that will come soon. It might be little short clips about the flag, and I want to do that as well. And yes, the music show is going to start. It's a music talk show. I had hoped to do that last night. This has been a crazy week, but within the next few days, you'll be seeing that. We're going to be talking about different types of music genres and stuff. The first one we're going to talk about is from Sacramento, California, the rock group Tesla. I'm very familiar with them. I've seen them a number of times, and I keep up with them this day. And then we're also going to have a history show. The history show is coming. So there's a lot of things. And I told Jen, I want to have a pet show. And we're going to talk pets. Yes, pet show. It is in the works.
And I was going to ask if we could talk to the gentleman from Three Ravens Publishing. I would like to read It Came from the Trailer Park series. Start with book 1 on the air on Tuesdays.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
we'll talk to him.
Okay, if they would allow it.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not really the result of that. Not that didn't add to the conversation, Anthony. Don't take it the wrong way. And you may not have heard me say it before. I've been a podcaster before, but it was always 100% ministry. But about 3 years ago, I got an idea to do a podcast, and I was going to do it on YouTube. And I actually put together the channel. I just never did it because I was having trouble with some of those podcasters on YouTube were vile. They were attacking each other, and I was cautious, but it was going to be called Bibles and Battlefields. And I was going to talk about the history of the Bible and read scripture and history of battles, history in general, but specifically battlefields in America, not just Civil War battlefields either. So obviously it'll be a lot of that because of that and the American Revolution, yes, but there's other things that, Indian battles, but that was something I had done. And out of the blue, Crazy Rob calls me one day and says, "Hey, why don't we start a podcast?" But I never even told him that. We talked about it for 2 months. We put the idea together for 2 months, and so much discussion. That's where Front Porch Talkin was developed in those discussions, Mama Said, and 2 shows that are morphed into one show that I do now called Southern Talk. That was 2 shows, Southern Mannerisms, and it was really called Mannerisms and Southern something 101. I can't even remember now. They kind of lost steam a little bit for different reasons. It was a great topic. But I blended them in the same show called Southern Talk. And I've kind of changed the way that show looks. So I usually do that on Saturday, Southern Talk. So ideas are always moving. There's always things on the drawing board. Jeb and Bubba, they'll be back. That'll be expanded. I've just had a lot on the plate lately. I am working with some folks that's going to be on the channel. We hope to do our first show, financial helps, and I'm actually trying to get licensed, and I'm studying a lot, and I've got to take this test to get licensed, and I can. We're working out some deals that, to put on the air to be helpful to folks, and that will be another, just another thing, and it'll be beneficial for them, beneficial for us, and the radio station. I want to expand that, get that special programming. There's a TikTok live that's coming exclusive to TikTok. That's going to happen within the next day or two. We're going to do that. It might be a nightly. We're over 10,000 followers on TikTok now, and we can't stream live to TikTok, but we definitely need to be streaming in TikTok. There's many reasons for us to do that. I'm on the verge of a creator gold mine with them. Hopefully, if they don't cast us off the channel, they're bad to do that. The guy Willie that does the Alabama stuff, he had 300,000 followers and they lost him overnight. I would hate that. We're at a little over 10,000, and we hope to do lives. Well, not hope. We're going to do lives there. We'll also do lives on the. I really want to amp up the MP3s and give them the love they deserve. I do a lot there. I can't blend it into the show without the co-host coming into the MP3, or it doesn't work. So that's stuff that we'll develop even more so in the future, live on the radio station. Sometimes I just like to empty what's going on. So I just figure I might as well just tell you all of it right now, except for those things that we way in the design stage. But more and more. I mean, things that we want to do, developing brands, very important. Increase the store, get our Printful store up. It's only got one logo in there. Get it going, and just to explore every avenue we can to use it, and anything else that we can do. So the sky's the limit. Absolutely, the sky's the limit. Working with our new co-hosts, which are amazing. Hopefully developing new co-hosts. I want to give a plug to Miss Elizabeth. Jen's been great to help. She needs to do more. I've been after her. I'll just call her out. She needs to do more. She's got a gift. And I hope that we can do more with her in the future. Dean, he's been sick. Y'all pray for him and his whole family. His sickness has got down. He's down. He called me today. He's real hoarse. He went back to the doctor. He is no, there's 168 in a week.
But you were.
There's all kinds of creative ways I can do things. So now I won't run out. That's what second channels are for, Jen. You get that big? That's, by the way, under the umbrella, and this is something I never really talked about. I hope I'm not boring you, Miss Elizabeth, but sometimes inquiring minds want to know. And this is from the mind of Dave. And I get in consultation. A lot of times I'll develop ideas and then I'll get with Robert and we'll flesh out the details. But originally what we had talked about is, we're Southern Fried Podcast, but there are Southern Fried Podcasts out there. Southern Fried Podcast, this, that, the other thing. We're still a Southern Fried Podcast. We're also Cornbread Nation. We're now also Cornbread Nation Radio. So the original idea was to have these different entities, the media umbrella, which really falls under the business name, which is Southern Fried Cornbread Nation. That's the official business name of what we do. It's a LLC. We've been licensed since May, I believe it is. We have a business license. So all of those different entities are fall into that. My goal is in the future to be credentialed as a journalist. That's why I work the news so hard. I love it. Want to do the news. We hope to get credentialed so we can go on scene as credentialed journalists. It's going to take some work, but nothing that you want is easy. You got to work for it. And that's what we're going to do. And we will eventually have people knocking on our door wanting to get on the show. And we're going to remember all those people that kicked us to the curb. And we're going to remember also the people that stood with us and helped us and believed in us, we know who they are. So we're the little podcast that can and will, and we're going to continue to grow the brand and grow what we're doing. I hear from people all the time, more and more. Hey, I seen your show. Hey, yeah, I think I caught your show before. Yeah, ain't you that guy? Y'all do this podcast. It's more and more people are catching the wave of what we're doing, and that's exciting. We're still so tiny. Like in Rumble, we're not even 1,000 followers in Rumble. To give you a, yeah, we're like 692 counting all the names together just on Rumble. And you take someone like Killer Carl, he's about 42,000 people. So
Wow.
just gives you an idea. Angry Conservative is about 1,800, something like that. So we all help each other. We're very small when it comes to that. But overall, if you take everything together, we have over 61,000 followers. Now, some of those are they don't pay attention to us. There's some bots in there, but the numbers are strong, and our numbers and streams are bearing it. More and more people are seeing the program, and we can see all that stuff. And it's the sky's the limit. There's so much more. There's so many people that's going to discover us and discover the diversity we have. And I'll say this is not a bragging. I don't think there's another podcast that has the diversity that the Southern Fried has. I'll stand on that.
Mm-hmm.
Find another podcast that does as many different types of shows as we do. I'd like for you to show it to me because I don't know that there's one out there. We are a very diverse podcast, and it grows all the time. And that stems from what we love. We can't just be one thing. I can't just do politics. I'd go crazy. If all I did was politics, I'd quit today. Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand that. In fact, I've said if you remember from those that were here in the beginning, we didn't even do politics. We got agreed not to do politics, but it became necessary with all that's going on in the country. You got to talk about it some.
We could still agree to not do politics for all I care.
Well, what I've done is I've pulled back from discussing politics in most shows. I try to keep that on the vent a little bit in Cornbread Nation, just to, jack legs, but mainly on the news programs I do. I really don't like talking about it in a lot of the shows. To me, it drags down, and I've had feedback from people that says they quit watching when we start talking about it. So listen to your audience.
Yeah. I hate politics. That's why I don't have a TV.
No, people take it too far.
Well, I hate bad news, and I hate all the stuff that's being put out now. So that's why I don't watch TV.
So if I was doing a formal poll, Miss Elizabeth, what would you say is the favorite part of the podcast for you? Forget everybody else. For you, what do you like about it? Miss Jen, same thing. Cook, same thing.
What's my
Anthony, if you're still out there, same thing. What is it that you really like? What makes you come back?
I like
the banter.
Yeah, I like cutting up and going on with you and Rob and Steve and Jen. I mean, with everybody. I like the banter of cutting up and going on with everybody.
So if you were to give me 3 shows, well, we'll say top 5, 5 shows that you could watch and you would be just happy as a cat with a bowl of milk, what would those 5 shows be? Or 3 shows?
I love our Mama Said.
Yeah, Mama Said's a great show. You make it great.
Well, thank you. I love this show. I love our Friday night show. And I love our Wednesday, our Hump Day show.
Yeah.
And I like doing, our 12 o'clock show, our lunchtime show with us. Because it's just a quick 20, 30-minute show.
Yeah.
Which, I love all of our nighttime shows. I really do.
Awesome.
So I can't complain about any of our shows.
Thank you, Anthony. We do, and we're seeing different viewers come in on the NASCAR and the sports show. We're going to grow that's an area that's going to grow big time. We're loving it. We've got people behind the scenes. You're going to see a football fantasy show coming soon. I hope Cook will help me with that. He don't have to, but I hope he will. because we do fantasy sports, and so you'll be seeing that as well. And the the Southern the news desk, you're going to see a lot of that. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has saw it. I've been getting a lot of energy. Has anybody saw the new little news bites? I've been changing this over the last few months, trying to find the right mix. I think I found it, and I'm using Cornbread Nation Radio as the sponsor of it. But it's the News Nation, the SOP News Nation. Those little bites. I've just been doing it for the last week and a half. I cannot tell you on Clapper, they went crazy over this. I've picked up more followers on Clapper in the last week than we have in a long time, and it's all because of that show. That little 3-minute bip that happens in the in I just put it out there, and it goes on everything just about because it's so small. But it has a little bit of news. It has a Bible verse. It has a veteran, and it has a pet. That's it. 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes tops, and that's been big. So I like that. It's been fun.
Think I've seen that.
I'll see if I can download and upload one real quick, and we'll look at it. Miss Jen, what was you? What did Miss Jen say? I agree with Elizabeth.
No, you're not the only one that likes messing with Rob.
Oh yeah.
He called me today. He called me today and he said, "Now look, you know that I'm just messing with you all the time." I said, "Rob, I know that." He said, "Well, because sometimes you give me those looks," and I'm like, "She knows I'm just messing with her." I said, "Rob, you know I'm just messing back with you, right?" I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure. I said, "Rob, we've known each other a long time. You should know that by now."
I'll tell you another reason I don't like politics is because we've lost listeners over it. It's destroyed friendships, and I can't stand that. And I don't think we drove it. I think certain things happened, and it just went the wrong way, and it's like a train going downhill. You just couldn't stop it. I struggle with that one because I don't like that.
Well, like I said, we don't have to have
Anthony, it's a lot of people. Do what?
We don't have to have politics as far as I'm concerned. See, I don't care for NASCAR. That's why I don't watch the NASCAR thing.
Yeah.
But listen, who won last night? The
ball game.
Who won?
Philadelphia Eagles.
I told y'all.
Yeah. After the show, I turned around. I was in the studio till late. I just turned around and turned the TV on behind me and watched the rest of the game. It was a great game. I really enjoyed watching it. So, and Dean's not in here today. He's not feeling well, but Dean's done a great job. He's never podcasted before. He loves it, and I appreciate his energy. It's just great to have that. Let me see if I can. Now
you do anything with baseball, and I'm your girl. I love me some baseball.
Let me see if I can download something here real quick, and I'll download it, upload it back in, and we'll let you see what it looks like. And I'm working on the intros and outros, and we do all of our own engineering. So
and look,
sometimes.
Anytime you would like for me to come up to your little studio and do some commercials, I'll be happy to.
Yeah, we definitely. I love the creativity of doing and the commercials. I love creating with putting thoughts together, and I'm redoing, revamping a lot. But I definitely want to do some remotes too, live out in the community and stuff, and doing commercials out. We've done some of that, but we need to do a lot more. So let me see.
Me and my big Southern accent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we definitely got to get together and do that. Let me see if I can pull this up. And listen, now you can give me honest feedback. It's not going to hurt my feelings, man. Oh, and let me tell you, the wrestling show, the numbers on that were really good. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, good.
I was amazed at the numbers on some of that. I got to drop something down here. Hang on. And I want to tell you something else too, which is quite amazing. Hold on, let me find something I can. The problem with StreamYard is you only have so many spots, and you have to find a way to open things back up. Let me take this one out.
Don't you just love that?
Yeah, I know. That's why they get you to go up another level. But we've stood our ground. We're not going to do it.
I don't blame you.
We can work around it enough. All right, I got some room. I'm pulling it up. I'll play this. This was today's, I believe, that I'm fixing to pull up. And I try to do one a day. There's sometimes just crazy things happening.
What, Jen? Got kicked out of where? She said a guy spit on another guy and he got kicked out. Kicked out of where?
Oh, yeah, in the football game. Yeah.
Oh, my.
And the guy that did the spitting was a ex-Georgia Bulldog. Makes me mad.
So 2 players got kicked out.
No, one player, he spit in the guy's face, and he'll probably be suspended for a few games.
Good.
Which he should be.
You should be doing nothing with bodily fluids. You should be doing nothing with bodily fluids.
All right.
Unless it's with consent.
Just, it's like 2 minutes long. It's not that long. So drink you a cup of coffee or something, and let's see what you think.
Okay.
Good morning, Dave in the AM with your SFP News Nation here for this Thursday, September the 4th. Yeah, getting through the work week, headed towards the weekend. Ukrainian officials are accusing Russia of terroristic acts, even as ongoing peace negotiations are occurring, according to Yulia Seredenko, telling Newsmax on Wednesday that Moscow continues to target civilians rather than military infrastructures. In a bombardment of many drones and missiles that hit in and around Kyiv, there's about 25 people that were killed, including 4 children. It certainly seems as if there are not much peace involved in peace talks at present. The president still is ongoing and hopeful that peace can be brought to the region. We will see. Hey, our veteran of the day is Albert G. Staley. Albert G. Staley of the United States Army, who was born November 15th, 1892, and died June 4th, 1961. We salute you today, sir. Our Bible verse of the day is, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many." Matthew 24:5. Boy, isn't that the truth? And then finally this morning, our pet of the day, Evergreen. Evergreen. Look at those cute pictures. Bikini Animal Center. You can see that female, 50 pounds, a little over, and a mixed breed. Let's give Evergreen a forever home. And we appreciate your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. Don't forget that we have our Southern Fried coffees. You can get yours today at our Shopify store. But thank you for support again of the podcast. We'll see you again tomorrow. So that's a daily. That was actually Thursdays. I thought I pulled today's. I'm still working on some of the bugs in it. But what do you think?
I liked it.
Today's people are moving really quick. They don't like to take a lot of time. They hit several different things, just real quick, a news item, and then those other things. And so they really liked it on Clapper, I can tell you, because I got a lot of follows today. I appreciate that. But it's funny. Well, thank you, Miss Jenneth. It's fun to create, and you have to be careful because you can just overmax yourself, and there's just too much to do. Yeah, but I try to find things that we can just hit really fast, get those things done, and move on. Some things take more time. Some things take a lot of time, and we lag a little bit on some things. We get loaded up just because it takes so much time. The live shows are easy; they go straight up. But we have to take those live shows and then move them to other platforms, and we want to do that. Sometimes it's just it just takes a little bit to get there. So, and some things have space commitments. I mean, space limitations. You can't put certain things certain places.
So, do they not, like, if we have them all pulled up, do they not already just go out?
No, we go, all the things that we have live in here, they go straight to. Now, Instagram, it's just a different kind. It's a great platform, but none of your videos saved there. We just go live. And thank you to folks that are in there right now watching. And I recognize certainly one of the names, maybe two. Thank you. But we go, it took us forever to get this to work. But Instagram, they don't save them. But we always have a handful that come in. We appreciate that. But everything goes live. It loads up live into all those that we have on the screen. But we have a lot of channels that we take and copy that. I use Rumble mainly because it places really good. Now, on one of them, I use YouTube. It's the better one. But I'll take the address and I'll pop it in a post with usually advertising for one of our coffees or something. And that we go out. People will realize if I send you an email, you'll see most of the links. I think I got to add a couple. But in my email are all the links to all the other channels that we do. Now, some of these are very small. And some of them I started out as just to mess with, and they've turned into pretty big. It's just amazing. But we've got over 2,000 followers on Getter. And one of these days, I hope to be able to stream live to Getter. Like I said, 10,000 to TikTok, 7,700 to Clapper. About 1,150 at Parlor and Play TV, which are sister networks, and they're great. They almost died and they came back around. Gab, we've got 2,800 followers at Gab, and all these I have to load in manually. And there's others as well. So that's not counting the MP3s. Which if I go live on Podbean with the podcast, and I do some when it's just me, it automatically shoots it out to several other ones. But I've never been able to get it to shoot up. So I have to go up to Spotify, Apple, and Spreaker manually. So I have to load those manually. But it just takes a little time to do all that. Do what?
You're saying names I've never heard of.
Well, when I went to the printer and had our business cards made, the printer said, I've never heard of all these. I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, that's me.
We're on if you add it all up, we're over 20 different platforms that we're on.
Oh, wow.
And Pickaxe is the latest one. And that's going to that'll be a good one for us. Now that's the tried and true foxhole. If everybody else abandons us, we'll have Rumble and Pickaxe. So we hope that those stay. We just need to grow them. When we first started, I had a Rumble account. Robert didn't even heard of Rumble, and I said we got to get on Rumble.
I'd never heard of Rumble until I joined you guys.
And when he found out we got struck for a week, he was all about it. We're in the Rumble Creator. That's where the podcast makes a little money. At least pays the bills. So we push Rumble a lot. Sure, it's making us some money. And they're trying to, help us make more. So we're babies there, though. We're so small, but we get noticed all the time. So, you're all over the place. See, you do these shows. You are all over the place. You have no idea where all this stuff goes.
That's crazy.
Believe it or not, when you look at our metrics, depending on what platform, some are easier to pull than others. We're obviously big in the United States. On every platform we have is big here, and Canada. But it's funny, sometimes we'll be big in a place like, what was the one the other day? It was an African nation. I can't remember what it was. We were one of the MP3s was actually our third highest count was in Africa, and I can't remember what nation. It was like 54 nations in Africa, but one of those was our third highest on that platform. Was there
What's that place that Rob that Steve's got to send that package to?
Estonia? It wasn't
Yeah.
there, but that would be funny. I think it was Nigeria, believe it or not. We've got friends from India, South Africa that check in sometimes.
Oh, that's funny.
The gaming platforms we're on, we get a lot of young people through that, so they'll stop by and talk to us. One guy said, "You're never going to be big on Twitch because you're not a gamer," and I said, "I don't care." He actually backed off and was pretty
Who
nice.
cares?
He said, "Y'all have a good podcast." He said, "I'm just messing with you," and thanks you to Jake. I think he's helped us a lot with Twitch and Kick. Those are great platforms. Yeah. He just helps us a lot because I don't have time. So, and I didn't know anything about it. Twitch was a pain in the butt to get going. I about gave up on it. I had it, we lost it, I got it back again. Oh my gosh, it was such a pain. You know,
I'd never heard
we had Chris. God bless Chris. He helped us develop a lot of stuff. Chris left, and Rob says, "Dave, it's on you." So that's why I do all this stuff.
I don't think I ever met Chris.
Chris is a great guy, but he does his own podcast. But he helped us a lot. He helped us set up a lot of stuff on YouTube, our logo, a lot of stuff. So, and every once in a blue moon, he'll pop back in for we'll catch up, you know. So,
see, that's good.
There's a lot of people to thank, you know, but I think of my family who have done things behind the scenes to help. Mm-hmm. My wife is a huge supporter of this podcast. She never wants to be on screen. But she shops for the studio. She watches the shows. She does a lot of stuff. My sons, both of them have done a lot of things. My grandchildren have helped me do things. It's really amazing. And now we've got all these people out there that actually send us suggestions. And what I was going to say, you know, the wrestling show did really good. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That Mama Said with Miss Rita, the numbers jumped off the charts.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of people. She brought a lot of folks with her, and I look forward to having her. She fits right in, and it's just going to be fun to explore what we can do with that. But that night, now we're a small podcast, so some people say this, but for us, this was big, and I haven't counted because we grow over the days and weeks and months. People will go back and look at those programs. But that night, we had nearly 400 people that watched that show.
You are kidding.
No, and so you see on the screen like 10 here, 12 there, whatever. It was like 365 people watched that night. I'd say those numbers are well over 400 now. So, and Facebook was huge that night. X was really big, as well as Rumble. All those did, and YouTube actually did more than we used. Really ever do, though the number was small, it's bigger than we do. We've never cracked the code at YouTube. We're never big at YouTube, but we still keep it.
That's all right.
If 20 people watch at YouTube, that's like a record. Wow, 20 people. But we usually do really well with Rumble and Facebook and X. Mm-hmm. And you know, those are big ones for us. And Instagram is in there sometimes, so it's just fun to kind of watch that stuff, you know, where it comes from, who's watching. Algorithms are a weird thing. We do all kinds of things to affect the algorithm. There's absolutely no doubt that we've had programs that have been squashed by the algorithms.
Oh, yes.
Our first show that we did with Dog Tag, first time I'd met him, we had 99 people from X watching the program. I have no idea why it hit like that. Just on X. Me and Rob were sitting here going, wow. Like, what the heck? That was that first show with him was pretty amazing.
You know, and we need to make sure that we're asking people to, you know, share.
Yes.
I don't know if we can say that or not. You know, share this out.
Oh, yeah, you can absolutely do that. We do that. And people are pretty good. Some people just do it. When I post the shows up, Usually there'll be a handful of the platforms where somebody reposts for us. We're
Yeah,
really good about that. We just need a lot more of it.
yeah. Because that always helps the algorithm too.
It does. I know
People
we're
should.
getting bigger because I can tell you that they are ringing my door off. These people that want to help us get bigger. These people
That
come out
always
of the
helps.
woodwork. They're all trying to make money off of us, and we don't have no money to give them.
Oh.
But in
Mm.
the last week and a half, I've been inundated. Oh my gosh. They see the Shopify store, they see the programs. These bots come from everywhere. So we're getting on their radar now. And it actually drives crazy. Anthony, if you're still there, I've just been talking, but you're kidding me, right? That you don't think that should be a suspension? It's an overreaction. Dude, I'm a dog fan, and this dude needs to sit for a few games.
I agree.
Spitting is different, man. That's not a punch. If they're
That's
going to sit a
bodily
guy down for
fluid.
taking a guy's helmet off and hitting him with it, you got to sit him down for spitting on him. That's not overreaction, dude.
Because that's
I love you,
bodily
man, but
fluid.
it's not overreaction. If
Because
somebody
think of it.
spits in your face, are you going to overreact or are you going to just take it?
Exactly, Anthony. Look at it this way. What if that person that spit has HIV, and you can get that through any kind of bodily fluids. Any kind of bodily fluids. That includes spit.
I know how dudes are because I be one. There's two things you don't do to a guy.
You don't spit in their face.
Absolutely.
Even a
One
woman.
is spit on him. There's not a
Mm-mm.
guy I know that would take that you wouldn't be hurting if you spit on him. And that's not number one. It's just one of them. But you don't talk about his mama. You talk about his mama, it's on. His mama
Yes,
could be a criminal of all criminals, but you still don't talk about somebody's mama.
as a woman, I would never let another woman spit in my face. She'd be going down. I might be hurting afterwards, but she would be going down.
You're not going to turn the other cheek.
No. I would be picking up something because she would be going down. I don't know what it would be, but she'd be going down. See, even Janice agrees. Mm-mm. We
You're in
ain't
the
letting
express
nobody.
lane. You're in the express lane at the store, and
Mm-mm.
some lady gets mad at you and turns around and just chunks a big old loogie at you. You're just going to go, "Hey, bless your heart. Have a nice day."
Mm-mm. I'm picking up the nearest can, and I'm knocking her tail out. Mm-hmm.
Or
She
somebody
going
hits your
home.
kid.
She going home with a concussion. Mm-hmm.
It is gross.
Very much so, Jen. Very much so. That's nastiness. Ooh, nasty, nasty, nasty. Ugh.
What if somebody come
Ugh.
in your home, Jen, and spit on your cat? What would you do?
Same thing. Wouldn't you, Jen? Anytime you don't come in my home and disrespect me or my animals. You come in my home and show disrespect. You don't tell us getting kicked out.
You are
And
out of
this
here.
time, this time it wouldn't be no can. It'd be my gun. It'd be my gun. And listen, I would have a right because then, see, they'd be shot in the leg. 911, how can I help you? Yes, you need to send an ambulance too. Blah, 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 blah. Because I just shot an intruder.
Oh, there's my neighbor got a dog. Their dog died. They got a dog, and he'll be over in my yard. He's a big old baby. He's gonna be a big dog. He's a beautiful dog. But my granddaughter was telling me about this. His eyes all messed up right now. There's a guy that comes down the road on a bike. Well, he got to barking at him. I guess dogs will sometimes come out. The guy on a bike. Well, this guy took some kind of a stick or something. And she just pushed him away or whatever. He took that stick and he drove it in his eye. And the dog screamed, and the homeowner came out, and Kaylee saw it. Kaylee is so mad about this guy doing that.
Did that
he's just a big old
stick and beat him with it?
I know he should have been in a fence, but he's a bigger dog, but he's like a puppy still. He's just a big baby, really.
That's animal abuse. I hope he called the law on him.
I don't know what they did. I just heard about it yesterday. But the eye looks bad. Like the eye looks.
He's probably going to lose that eye.
It's sad, you know. But he did it on purpose. He went in the eye on purpose. Is what I was told. You know, you just don't do animals like that.
That's animal abuse. I hope they called the law. I really, really do. Because if I'd have been there, I'd have called the law, and I would have said, "Give me 5 minutes." Because I'd have took that stick, and I'd have beat the crap out of that man. And I'd have probably stuck it where the sun don't shine. Where he don't get no sun.
I know when we said we're going to do this pet. By the way, I need help. I don't have a name for the pet show, but Cook wants to come on and talk about his cat. He's a big cat lover. But y'all be brainstorming a name for the pet show. I have no idea what to call it.
A good name. Come on, Jen. Help us. You got cat. Well, it's got to be for cats and dogs.
Yeah, it's cats and dogs.
Cook, that's so sweet.
But he
is it going to be for the week or for the day, animal of the week?
Well, the pet show, we're going to highlight a pets in it, but that's available for adoption or whatever. But it's going to be just, it's going to be pet news, these kind of things we were just talking about. Stories where people have rescued animals, abused animals. We're going to talk about things like how do you know your dog loves you, or how do you know your dog's mad at you, or do dogs or cats? We're going to have all kind of topics, and we're going to let people tell their pet stories, stuff like that. Okay. So it's a round robin of stuff.
All right, I'll think about it.
And I'm not an expert. I just think it'd be a cool show. I just want to do it. I think it'd be fun. It's light.
Okay, I have a question, and this is for both men and women. Okay, let's say you are at a grocery store, okay, or even the Walmart. I hate the Walmart. Not a big fan of the Walmart. But let's say you're at a grocery store or you are at the Walmart. And let's say if you're a woman, and let's say you went in and then you are walking around doing your shopping or whatever, and you notice a man or two men or whatever are following you. And then as you are trying to walk around, you see a single man that's with his buggy or whatever. Would you feel comfortable enough, because you already know these two men are following you, would you feel comfortable enough going up and grabbing that man's arm and saying, "Hey, honey, how are you? I'm so glad that you came," or something like that, to make those two men realize, oh, you're not alone. And as a man, what would you do and how would you feel?
I think, I would probably sense something was going on anyway. And I've done a lot of, I've actually had women ask me over the years a few times could they stand near me? They felt uncomfortable with somebody. Could they act like I was their husband for a minute or something? They said, I'm not crazy, but there's these guys. I say, absolutely. So I made sure they were safe. I've
Okay.
escorted them to their car. I do this a lot, obviously with security too, but I've done it as a civilian.
Yeah.
Escort ladies to their car. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I would prefer somebody doing something like that than being uncomfortable.
Okay. Come on, man. I know you out there. We got 14 viewers on Facebook alone.
Yeah, I just think
Anthony.
that you got to be there. I would want somebody to help my wife if she was at the store, if somebody was, being stupid, uh, to assist, make
Yes.
them feel comfortable, protected. And I don't care what liabilities there are. I'd always do that. I had
Jen, what's your thought?
Kaylee told me the other day she has her phone. She thought that a guy might be like following in a car, but she cuts through
Mm.
yards and stuff. But I told her, stay on the phone. Let me know what's going on. There's a lot of people around there. It'd be really hard for anybody to do anything. But she felt uncomfortable. So, you know, she kind of did that. She knows some people that live down the street. And so uh, she hollered at them. So this person would go
Okay.
on.
Smart move.
Once they realized that we don't know who it was. It might have been innocent. It might have been looking for somebody, but she felt like they were staring at her, following her. I don't know.
Mm. So see, I would totally feel comfortable doing that. It wouldn't bother me in the least because I would tell that person, hey, there's people doing this. These people are following me. Um, I feel very uncomfortable. Would you just, like that, like you were saying, would you just let me, would you just stand here with me until they either they go away or until I can make a phone call to the
Yeah,
police or
I
whatever?
absolutely have done it. I was behind these girls one time. Me and my son, we were leaving our church, and they had a flat right in front of us. They pulled into a Wendy's, so I pulled two spots over to see what their plan of action was. I realized real quickly they didn't have a plan of action, so it was in a convertible actually. And so I kept my distance, but I
Oh,
said, "Do you need help changing the tire?" And they were like, "Oh yes, that'd be great." And they started to jump out of their car, and I said, "Don't do that. Don't do that. Just pop the trunk. I'll take care of it." So while I'm changing the tire, I'm coaching these young ladies to be careful about guys, following them and stuff. I found out what they did is they were off Sand Mountain. They were good Christian girls. They cleaned houses. They're all over the place. And I said, "You did good in one way. You pulled into a public place. It was in a Wendy's parking lot." I said, "But what you should have done is got in and went inside and let them know that you've had a tire blown or something, and maybe just see if they can, make sure that somebody's watching you and
somebody could
because
have
there's
taken
all
it.
kind of freaks out there, all kinds of freaks."
There
And
are.
they said, "You know what? We never thought about that. That yeah, we don't know who you are. We don't know anything about you." I said, "You don't know who I am." So you got to be
Mm.
careful of that crowd. You never know. Freaks pop out of everywhere.
Um, I'll tell you what. When I was went out on a date with somebody in Atlanta, and he was a caller. Um, he actually took a picture of his driver's license. And this is when I lived with Sarah and Trent in Atlanta. He took a picture of his driver's license, texted it to me, and I gave it. He said, "Be sure and give this send this picture to your daughter and son-in-law."
Sure.
And he was, a few years older than I was, and he said that way your daughter and son-in-law know who I am. They know my name. And I always make sure also that my daughter has I share my location. My daughter can have access to my location 24/7 on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm able to have her location 24/7 from her phone. And that's just another way to be safe.
Sure.
And I suggest, whether I do it because I'm older and, it just makes me feel more comfortable. It makes her feel more comfortable. That way, like, tomorrow I'm going to Ringo. They're having some kind of little festival there tomorrow. I'm going there tomorrow. That way, if something happens, she knows where I'm at.
Yeah.
And, I had never thought about that. Sharing a driver's license picture. Oh, me either, Jenna. Me either. We used to walk to the store. I would never let my kids walk. Never let my even. I wouldn't even walk to the store now by myself from where my parents lived, and it's just down the hill. Never. Mm-mm.
When I was a kid, my mom and my aunt, we went out just out getting a burger to drive through type thing. They were just talking to people. Well, a couple of idiots followed them, and I can remember how scared they were.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, she like punched it, and we actually pulled into somebody's driveway, turned out all the lights, and ducked down in the car, and we lost them. But we stayed in those people's driveway for probably 30, 45 minutes to make sure they were gone. It was a pretty scary night. That's 70s, which you thought, just not as much crap. There was still crap going on. But nowadays, my God, you just never know. People stopping in front of your house and just sitting there staring at it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's time to go, man.
Exactly.
I'm in the street. I don't care. I got kiddos playing here. Leave.
Exactly.
You got no business
Don't
here.
Come back.
Yeah. We had a guy. I think he's dead now, but he was on the list. He was on the Georgia sex registry, and he'd walk his dog all 3, 4, 5 times a day. And so we talked to girls when he started coming down the road to come in the house. Don't make a big deal, just come in the house. But he did my neighbor like that. He stopped in front of their house and just stared at their kids. And I think I was at work when it happened, but the neighbors came out and had a come to Jesus moment with him and said, listen, you may have a right to live on the street. We have a right to protect our kids. And if you do something like this again, you're going to need, you wish you were back in prison. They just told him, don't do it here.
He probably didn't have the right to be stopping in front of their houses. And
no, he didn't have that right.
Because by law, he probably had to be so far away from kids.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be so far away from a school, a church, But if you pull up the map, they're all around you. It's sad.
Are.
Little Chickamauga has so many on the registry. So many. So, yeah, you have to be careful. That's a great discussion. I'd like to explore that more. Folks, we have one over. I want to keep Miss Elizabeth. She's, bless her heart, she's sitting in the car. We need to rescue her from the car.
No, I'm good.
It's been a fun show. We miss Rob. Pray for him. He was not feeling good, and he's headed south. Remember the last time he went to the beach, he got hurt. He told me if he didn't feel good, he was going to be smart, not do things that he would want to do. He's got to be feeling good. So he's going with a different mindset. It's tough, but you got to do what you got to do. So pray that he has a good journey. No injuries. Let's pray the slurp gun works well. He comes back with some fish with the old slurp gun.
That's the sound I imagine. That stupid slurp gun making.
He is going to try to do 2 or 3 lives. We did that last time, and it worked well until Rob trying to do something on the phone, and he would kill the stream every time.
Yeah,
So I suspect what will happen is he will go live for about 3 minutes, and then he'll hit a button on the screen, and he'll be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like last time. It's out there in the sun. It's hard to see the controls. So he is going to wear the GoPro. Huh?
I got to have one of y'all teach me how to go live.
Oh, we can teach you. That's not hard. But we'll teach you. We've got lots we can teach you. There's a lot to learn. Going live, you can record. How to, we could add your Facebook in. And
yes, we need to do that.
We'll have to get together. I'll have to be in there, and I'll teach you. We'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
And every once in a while, I think we can. It has a way to automatically update. Every 3 months or so, you have to redo your credentials. But usually, if you let them run out, you have to redo it. But if you catch it in time, you can just hit a button. I can redo the credentials for anybody, I think. But we run sometimes 3 different Facebooks out of here. So, but my Facebook has almost 2,800 followers, so it's good to have extra ones out there. So people see we're getting new followers. Thank y'all, all y'all, for being in the stream tonight. I'm sorry for Rumble. It's just one of those nights. It just messed up. So X, and the only thing I hate is X doesn't have a way usually to come in the chat. That's a problem. They've got to fix that. But I will say StreamYard and Rumble are doing updates all the time. They're adding new options, and I appreciate that. It's going to make it easier for us to do things that we do. But yeah, it's good to do live remotes from places. I have forever and a day been wanting to do a couple of updates on some old news stories, but I've got to go out. I got to get somebody to go with me to help me with the camera. I have a tripod, but you got to have somebody to operate the stuff.
Yeah.
I want to update. There's a couple, 3 stories locally within an hour of where I live, some less, some up to about an hour, and go do live remotes, or at least record it and make a show out of it, put it together, and come back and do it that way. So I actually still record some shows every once in a while. I did a news program like that recently where I recorded the show and then ran it as a live. I do the puppets that way just by the nature of having to do everything. It's a lot to put that show together. It'll get a little bit easier. We're adding more to it all the time. And that's one of the things I want to stream right into StreamYard. The way I've been doing it is do it on my phone and then download it, upload all that stuff. It takes a little more time. So, but anyway, yeah, everybody have a great night. Have a great weekend in the morning. Like I said, look for, in particular, this America First series live with James from the Empty Pockets podcast. Probably a Southern talk, and then I will be busy the rest of the day working. Sunday morning in the Word on Sunday morning. Sunday night news desk. Who knows? Maybe something else will pop in. And then Monday, I'm not sure when Rob's coming back, so I don't know if he's going to be on the morning show or not. He should be back by Monday night, so we'll see. And but have a great weekend. Get rest.
If he's not there Monday morning, I'll hop on. Go with.
Okay. He'll let me know by Sunday. I think last time he didn't make it even for Monday night because that's when he got hurt.
Yeah, because he got hurt.
He got hurt. The time before that, he was back by Monday night, and we tried to watch the video. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, lots of things coming. Some I didn't even mention, kind of on the drawing board. So stay tuned, stay with us, keep the faith. Awesome, Miss Jen. We need you to come up. Yes, we want you. We want you to come, be a part.
Yes, always.
I'm gonna hook her into this pet show. She's a natural for that. You got to do a pet show. Anybody wants to help. I could see her doing like a recorded something in the show, like I don't know, Jen's cat tips or something like that, or something. You know,
that'd be good.
How to groom them, how to whatever. I don't know. I could see her doing that. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
She's like the best. What's the word? Ambassador. You're like the Southern Fried Podcast ambassador. I anoint you ambassador of the Southern Fried, because you are out there just killing it. I mean, killing it, promoting the Southern Fried, and that's amazing. I can't thank you enough, and you do such a good job of that, and others that do it as well. So, Jake does so much to help our programs. I mean, he's out there promoting a lot of times. I went into his live the other night. It was late. I didn't go on stage. I just listened, and I told him it was me. And he tells all his listeners, and he says, everybody listen up now. This is the Southern Fried Podcast. They're the greatest Southern podcast on the face of the planet, bar none. I was like, wow, what a buildup.
Jake.
I was like, man, we got to work up to that.
I agree. We're pretty
but we appreciate it.
Know.
All right, folks, let's get off of here. Let's get some rest. Enjoy the weekend. It's supposed to cool off a lot, and I'm looking forward to that.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm tired of the heat. I am so tired of the heat.
Excited.
All right, let me find the music, and then we'll get out of here. All right, good night. God bless. Take care. All those things.
Bye, y'all. Have a good week.
And beware of the slurp gun.
Sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Come on by and take a chair or lean on the rail. Let's have laughter and remember fun times on the front porch. Life is good. Sometimes life gets in the way. It's hard to smile on the front porch, but our friends remind us we are still here and care. Yes, life. Sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good.